Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine an island nation, somewhere like Guam.
Yeah.
Beautiful place, right?
Right.
But facing these huge energy challenges, they rely heavily on imported fossil fuels, which is expensive, and they're really vulnerable to extreme weather. Outages are, well, pretty common.
Mm.
But what if the very thing causing problems, the torrential rain, could actually help generate power? That's what we're digging into today, rain-powered solar panels.
Yeah.
It's this hybrid tech combining PV generation with rainwater harvesting. We want to see if it's really viable for a place like Guam.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The core idea is engineering a system that works with both sun and rain, not just one or the other. They use these things called triboelectric nanogenerators, or SENGs.
Settings, right?
Exactly. They capture energy from the friction of raindrops hitting the panel. We're talking up to about 2.14 volts from a single drop. It really flips the script, turning all that rain, which can be seen as a negative, into power and usable water. And the mounting systems are part of it, too. They're designed to channel the rainwater into tanks. You could get maybe 2,300 liters a year from just one 500-watt panel setup. The panel itself has this dual-layer thing going on, a transparent layer on top for the rain energy.
Okay.
And then the standard silicon solar cells underneath, getting around, say, 14% efficiency from sunlight. This hybrid approach means you maximize energy capture whatever the weather's doing, which is huge for Guam with, over 80 inches of rain annually.
That dual capability, yeah, that seems like a real game changer when you look at Guam's situation.
Yeah.
Their grid runs mostly on diesel generators, hence the outages we mentioned.
Yep.
But they have this big goal, right? 50% renewables by 2045. And it's not just about slapping up solar panels. You've got typhoons. I mean, serious ones, category 4 or 5, like Typhoon Mawar. 140 mile-per-hour winds, plus high humidity causing corrosion, salt spray, even just the sheer volume of rain flooding things. It makes standard solar adoption pretty tough.
Absolutely. And those challenges really underscore why resilient design is non-negotiable. If we look at what's already working there, the Dandan Solar Project is a good case study. It's 25 megawatts, been running since 2015. They built it specifically to handle 150 mile-per-hour winds and salt corrosion. It's projected to save something like $300 million in fuel costs over its life.
Wow.
So Dandan shows solar can work, definitely, but it also highlights the need for things like battery storage because solar is intermittent, right? And that's where this hybrid tech could really shine.
Okay, so let's compare them directly. Traditional solar versus this rain-powered hybrid. Cost-wise, the hybrid's a bit more upfront, maybe $3 per watt versus $2.50 for traditional.
Yeah, roughly in that ballpark initially.
But efficiency goes up, you're saying. 15, 20% for the hybrid compared to maybe 12, 14%?
That's right, because it's capturing energy from multiple sources.
And climate resilience.
Yeah.
For the hybrid, because it works in rain, versus just moderate for traditional solar, which still has those corrosion issues and rain limitations.
Exactly. And maintenance traditional panels need cleaning, these hybrids. The rain basically cleans them.
So, okay, slightly higher initial cost, but considering efficiency, resilience, less maintenance, how does that stack up for, someone living in Guam or for the island overall? What's the real value?
Well, the advantages go beyond just the electricity bill, which is important. First, water security. That's huge. Harvesting rainwater you can actually use for farming or even household stuff.
Right, the water harvesting.
And second, grid stability. On cloudy, rainy days when normal solar output drops, the Tanins are still generating some power. It helps smooth things out. These dual benefits, power and water, that's really pivotal for an island community. It turns a challenge, the rain, into two resources.
So looking ahead for Guam, this could be, pretty significant. You could see pilot projects maybe in the more typhoon-prone areas, like Yigo or Dededo.
That would make sense, yeah. Test them in the toughest conditions.
And maybe policy changes, incentives, tax breaks for systems that do both solar and rainwater capture. Plus, getting the word out to the community about long-term savings versus just the upfront cost.
So pulling it all together then, these rain-powered solar panels seem to tackle Guam's energy and water needs together. Could be a key piece for hitting that 2045 renewable target.
Absolutely. But success really depends on making them durable enough. Learning from Dandan, building them tough enough for typhoons and the corrosive environment, that's crucial. So here's something to think about. This integrated approach, using both sun and rain, things that seem almost opposite. Could it change the game for energy and water security? Not just in Guam, but maybe other vulnerable islands or coastal regions worldwide. Makes you wonder, could your own community benefit from looking at its unique climate challenges in a new way like this? Something to mull over.